guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we're going to pull on a festival miracle. I was so excited to see that Hilda was on this banner, and I was even more excited to see that she is going to be at 4-star rarity. So I think the plan today is to try to get as many copies of Hilda as we possibly can. So we will talk about the banner as we go along, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we start with one blue, and I think in this first circle I'm going to try and pull all of them just because we do have that discount. And I definitely want to get to my 40 pulls today, so I think it's worth it in this first circle. Oh, okay, we start with a Seta. You know, if I can't get Hilda, that is absolutely who I want to see, so that is perfect. So hopefully we can get to Bernie here. I feel a little bit bad not pulling for green just because she is a character that I absolutely love. I definitely identify with the fact that she's an introvert and she loves like staying in her room and doing crafts. And she also attacks with like an entire house. So I would love to add her to my barracks today. It's just that I do have a Lara Shell that's very heavily invested, so she's just a little bit lower on the priority list for me. And we get a Gunter. Okay. I was super excited to see that we didn't get all armors this year because that's historically what we've gotten, and armors are probably my least used movement type. And despite the fact that I've been playing since day one, I actually do not have any +10 armors. And if I'm going to do it, I think that either Hilda or Felix is a great option. So I think that that's why it's probably best for me to pull blue today. But let's see if we can get Sephiran here. Okay, 3-star. And we get a Gaius. All right. So probably wasn't worth it to pull that full circle, but you know, you never know. You never know what you're going to get. And from now on, we will try to snipe blue. And we have 2. Perfect. So I know that I talk mostly about how I love Claude and I love Marianne because those are my top 2 characters, but Hilda is easily my number 3 from 3 houses. She just, oh, you know what? She heard me talking about her. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Look at that art. Let's check IVs. Oh my gosh, she's plus speed. That is perfect. You know, I think that she does have a super boon in attack, but speed is going to be amazing on her. So, oh gosh, I am so happy with that. So I guess I just have to talk about how much I love Hilda and we'll get more copies. So I could do that for the whole video, but I do want to talk about the other characters too. But I was saying that I love Hilda because she was a character that had so much personality and such an amazing design. And, you know, on the surface, she is a little bit of a shallow character, but when you do all of her supports, she's actually very sweet and she can be very thoughtful like she was with Raphael. And she also had really good supports with Marianne, and I also loved her supports with Caspar. That support is actually my favorite ending that I have for all the possibilities for her. I feel like they suit each other really well, and they're basically just like YOLO for their entire supports. So I'm hoping that we get him in the game one day so that I can pair those 2 together. But yeah, I think we've talked enough about Hilda. Unless she quits coming home, then we can start talking about her again. And I think that we can talk about Altina. And the art for that duo is really good, and I think it's really cute that they paired her with Sanaki. But I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get like 2 new games to cover for our harmonized hero battles, since we already have Radiant Dawn. I feel like if they could have added like Shadows of Valentia or even 3 houses, that would have been great too. But the art is great, and if we do get her today, she'll probably be very useful for all those battles. So if we get to the Spark, I have no idea what I'm going to do. But in terms of the other units, I guess we haven't talked about Sephiran. And oh my gosh, we got another one. Oh gosh, and I'm so happy with 4 stars. I do not mind at all. And she's also plus speed. I think it's a plus speed kind of day. So let's back out. And I was trying to talk about Sephiran, and he is a very interesting character. He does look nice, but honestly, I don't feel like I will ever really use him. Armor healers are a little bit niche, and I really rarely use my Erica as it is. I pretty much only whip her out when I need to do like an all armor comp and I need a healer. But those new skills are interesting. I think that the staff is nice and the C skill is nice too. And normally I would get one so that I could give him to my Sarah. But my Sarah has nothing to do with support. She is all about damage and taking all the buffs for herself. So I really want to reserve her C slot for like a joint drive or something like that. So I don't think he's worth the orbs for me. But I guess that covers all the units on the banner, and we also have the Tempest Trials unit to talk about. And I was suspecting that it was going to be Felix based on those silhouettes, and I was so happy that it was him, since I actually S-supported him in one of my Three Houses playthroughs. I do hope that we get him in sword form in one day, but this alt is so cute. He's wearing that tiny little hat, and I love it. And his stat line is absolutely amazing, so I am thinking about making him a Grail project, and I have lots of skills that I can give him. I just kind of have to decide what I want to do. But yeah, I was so happy to see him, and I was even happier that he was free. And we get a corn, all right. So I guess that I've covered all of the units on the banner and Tempest Trials, and we can move on to all of our viewer questions for the day. And as always, if I don't get to your question, I'm so sorry. I will try to do it in a future one. And if you think of anything you want to ask, just leave it in the comments. So our first question today, and I am so sorry, I know I'm going to say your name wrong. This comes from Liam Nacht. And they ask, if Legendary Xander were a thing, what kind of unit would you like him to be? Like type, skills, weapon, look, etc. So I've had a lot of time to think about this because every month I think, this is going to be the month. This is the month that I get my Xander. And it never has been. So my wishes for him have actually changed over time. But I really think that the thing that has not changed is that I do not want him to be on a horse. Unless they can give him Canto. I already have so many Xanders on horses. I need a little bit more variety in my Xander emblem. So I'm hoping that he's some other type of movement type. But I would like to see him with maybe something that is a blue type weapon. I have no idea what it would be because I can't think of any canon weapons for him. I think that Bulwark is a possibility, but I do have a lot of green Xanders as it is with the pirate one and the one that can't swim. So blue would be nice, but I would also not be opposed to a Xander with like a power crept Siegfried. I think that would be really great. So I guess those are some of my hopes. As long as he's not on a horse, I'll be really, really happy. But given the ones that we've gotten in the past, I could definitely see him being mounted. But thank you for that great question. And the next question on our list today comes from Mage Knight Blazer. And they ask, do you think legendary units should get refines? Oh goodness, absolutely. There are so many that I feel like have fallen behind with the new units that we've gotten. Just when I think of ones that come to mind. Oh! Oh my gosh, we got another Hilda. Oh, I love her art so much. And she's plus res. I am so happy with that. That is a merge. So we'll keep going. And getting back to the question from Mage Knight Blazer, asking if legendary units should get refines. Absolutely. I think that Lynn and Ryoma and even Ephraim would benefit from that, just because I think that oh my goodness. Oh, she's 5-star. Here's the good news. I like Altena. And she is plus res. Okay, so that will reset our pity, but that's okay. We will do this full circle. You know, the only character that's 4 to 5-star, and we get her. But it's really all right. I do like Altena, and maybe this will be a good excuse to build her. And we get a Selena. So to finish up your question, Mage Knight Blazer, yes, they should get refines, and I'm hoping that we see it in the future. But the next question on the list today comes from MadCat65, and they ask, what are your thoughts on Valentia having gone so long without any units so far? And what would be your ideal Valentia banner? Well, it's been so long, I feel like it has to be coming on maybe the next New Heroes banner that we get. I think either that or Thracia has a really good shot. But I love Shadows of Valentia, and there are some units that I've been waiting for a while. Oh my gosh, we got Purple Ike. I am so glad we finished the circle. Let's check his IVs. and he is plus res. The one that I have is neutral, so I'll have to think about that, but but definitely worth pulling. So we'll keep going. And getting back to your question, the characters that I want to see the most would be Zeke and Tatiana. I also really liked Atlas from Celica's army. And, you know, we do have an alt for Valentian Katria, so I feel like Paula just deserves it. So I think that that's what I would want to see the most on an upcoming banner. But thank you for that great question. And the next question on the list today comes from Retro Beetle. And they ask, do you think gauntlets could work in Heroes if they function as colorless variants of swords or lances or axes, without an inherent brave effect? You know what? We have guns in Fae, so why not? I do think that a character like Dedue or a Caspar would be a great gauntlet unit, and if they would do something like that with colorless or even any other color, I'd be really happy. So if they gave us guns, maybe they can give us gauntlets, and I would be really happy to see it. But thank you for that great question. And the next one on our list today comes from VG Master 2, and they ask, do you think we'll get another TMS banner, and who would you want to be on the banner with the remaining 5 characters? So that is a very small pool of characters that they have to choose from, and I know that we will be seeing them on the upcoming Hall of Forms, so that'll be interesting. But there are some characters that I would want to see if they did it again. And I think that number 1 for me is Mirage Tiki, and I know that there are so many Tikis out there, but that design is actually my favorite of all the Tikis. I think they did an amazing job with it, and I'd love to see what they would do. And then I'd also really like to see Toma or Yashiro. And I know that this is a meme and nobody wants it, but I think it would be hilarious if they put Barry Goodman in the game. So yeah, that's what I would hope to see from a TMS banner if they did it again. But thank you for that great question. And the next one on my list today comes from Awesome Cat 300. And they ask, what advice do you have for free-to-play players? So I am not F2P, but I think that the best advice that I could give would be to really invest in your favorite characters. Because you can chase power creep and it will always be there, and yes, you may get a lot of gratification from getting like the most noob unit who is the most OP, but I think that it's really satisfying to build up the characters that you love the most. And even if they do get power crept, you can feed them new skills, and I think that it's a really fun way to play. So if you focus on the ones you like the most and save for them and for skills that they might be able to get, I think it's a really fun way to play the game. So that would be the advice that I would give. But thank you for that great question. Okay, 3-star. And we get an Ilyana. All right. So let's back out and we can do a full circle and then we'll get to the spark. And I honestly have no idea what I'm going to do. So hopefully we can get one of those characters here. But the next question on my list today, and this will probably be the last one, would be from M5MSMSMSMSMS. And they ask, which A-rank support was your favorite for Claude excluding Byleth? And which hero would you like to see Claude with as a harmonized unit in the future? Well, I always S-supported him every opportunity that I had, but I do really like his supports with Petra. I think they were pretty great. And as for a duo, I think it would be really interesting to have like a Claude-Robin duo as master tacticians. I think it would be a very interesting dynamic. And either the male or the female versions would be great. So that's what I would hope to see. But thank you for that great question. And we get a Tanya. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get Bernie. It'll make my decision way easier if we can get her. Smoke. Please be Bernie. It's Cecilia. All right, let's see if we can get a clutch Altina. Smoke. All right, we get Hinata. Okay, so we've made it to our 40 summons, and this is gonna be so tough because I think that Altina would be the most useful, but Bernie's so cute. And I feel like I've gotten enough Hildas that I probably shouldn't do it. So what do I do? You know what? I'm going to follow my own advice. I'm going to follow my heart and pick my favorites. And so I'm going to pick Bernie. Hopefully I don't regret this later when it's like a really tough week in harmonized battles. Oh my gosh, I do not regret this decision. She's so cute. And she will be neutral, so I think that we can just end it here. I am so happy with how this went. We got multiple copies of Hilda, a couple of great off-focus units, and we got our Bernie. So I want to wish you all the best of luck on this banner and the legendary that we have coming up, and I want to wish you the happiest of holidays as well. So as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.